So growing up, my really close friend was always known as the quiet kid. He would always sit in the back of the class. He was painfully awkward and shy, and he was always horrible with the ladies. Like when he talked to them, he would literally have a live panic attack right in front of them. He would turn red, he would start sweating, his heart would beat out of his chest, and his cheek muscles would do this thing where they randomly tightened and loosened. It would basically be a big, huge muscle spasm all over his face when he got nervous. Not a good look to chicks. Needless to say, they were all kinda creeped and freaked out by him. He never had much friends all throughout college and high school. I think he was definitely afraid of having one of those social panic attacks in front of people, so he avoided most conversations and people altogether. For years and years, his parents tried to get him help. They tried a psychologist, they tried shock therapy, and every medication you could ever dream up. From his 6th grade year until he was 26, he tried every medication and supplement that was available, both over-the-counter stuff and doctor-prescribed. He had literally a pill graveyard crate full of the stuff that he tried that didn't work. It was a 10-year cycle of researching some random med, find a few positive reviews on it, trying it, and all to find out that it didn't work. Every month he'd order something new because he saw a positive testimonial on Reddit or something about it, but nothing worked for him. He was on a decade hunt for a magic pill to help him with the social problems. A decade hunt, and he could never find that magic pill he was looking for. He was desperate at this point. He'd try anything, and things were looking hopeless. He was gonna be dying a virgin, it looked like. Then, one fateful day, he was browsing Reddit posts, and he discovered a supplement/nootropic that he never tried before. The supplement was called Phenibut, or Phenibut. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. And after reading tons of success stories on it, on how it made people outgoing and social, he ordered some without hesitation. This was basically his last resort. When his 40 grams of Phenibut arrived in the mail, he tried it immediately. And about an hour later, nothing. No euphoric feelings, no confident feelings. It looked like, again, another total failure. Then, about 3 hours after that, oh my god, he called me on the phone, crying with tears of joy. He told me over the phone that he finally found his miracle pill to cure his social phobia. Apparently, this stuff takes about 4 hours to kick in, which isn't usual. He was completely ecstatic. I've never seen anything like this from him before. Now, for those of you that don't know, Phenibut is a nootropic. It's basically a legal drug. It's a controlled substance in other countries, and it goes by a different name. But in the US, it's perfectly legal thanks to certain loopholes. It's basically the sedative version of Heth. Instead of the stimulant feeling, it gives you the same basic euphoric feeling, but with a sedative touch to it. It's truly amazing how this stuff is actually legal, or at least it was. This stuff makes you into a completely different person. It makes you confident and gives you a sense of anger, which is all the stuff women absolutely love. He basically reinvented himself while he was taking this stuff. He was a completely different person. He would dose every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the high lasted a good 14 hours. He easily walked into bars like he was the sheet, and he also made himself a Tinder and Bumble account. When he partied with the stuff on the weekends, he was a smooth talker and he was outgoing. This stuff basically turned him into a ladies' man. He was getting dates on swipe apps left and right, hitting on the chicks at the bar, flirting with them, and the chicks absolutely loved him. He was on the stuff every weekend for a solid 3 years, and in that time span, he got with over 100 chicks. That's right, over 100 in 3 years. He was finally having the time of his life. The fantasy he always dreamed about, being good with the ladies, and being a flat-out pimp, finally came true. In that 3 years, he became a dating app pro. He figured out from trial and error what to say to chicks on the app, what to say to them on actual dates, and how to put the moves on them. All through just trial and error. 6 months into it, he already became a pro. He basically repeated the same lines over and over that worked on previous chicks that he had success with. And he dodged certain topics that might come up, topics that would ruin a date. He knew exactly what to say to chicks because he knew exactly what they wanted to hear. He actually quit his job and became a full-time dater for 3 years. He had like 8 different girlfriends he was juggling at one time. He said he got with 9 different chicks within 1 week. He just fell in love with this stuff. He finally was that pimp he dreamed about, and he bought like a 10-year supply of this stuff, just in case they ever pulled it from the market, you know. But his 3-year carousel ride came to an end though. He built up a super high tolerance to the stuff, and they actually did ban this stuff in late 2023. But for 3 years, he was that completely different person, and he finally found what he was looking for. He lived out his dream of being a pimp. This shy kid who once sat in the back and had a crippling phobia of women got to be the Mac Daddy of his wildest dreams, and he rode that V carousel like you wouldn't believe, even putting me to shame. Thanks to this stuff right here, the miracle drug, the love potion number 9, the magic pill, the pimp powder.